Hey friends, this is Dr. Heather here live at Ask Dr. Heather and live from Cardin Center for Wellness here in Overland Park, Kansas. We've got just a couple minutes here and Dr. Ralph was just chatting with me and I said, amazing topic, you must share because these are some of the common questions I get. What is the difference between insulin resistance? What's the difference between high insulin? What is going on in the world? We start talking about genetics and the whole role that it plays. So I'm actually going to let him share what he's been sharing with me. So here we go. Dr. Ralph, what are you sharing with me today?
Can you see this?
Yes, sir, we can.
I'm not going to be able to remember this.
You can put down the, that's okay.
Okay, so basically what we were talking about is how what some people are terming diseases of civilization, obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, those types of things. What's the origin of those in a very, very basic sense? So one theory is that the Western diet. Western diet, we all know, is highly processed foods.
Hold on. We're going to actually take a small time out. Let us know where you're coming from. We always want to say hello. Sorry about that, folks. Let us know where you're coming from. If you've got snow, put a snowflake down because we got a lot of snow. Dr. Ralph's been shoveling snow. Yes, we have 3 boys at home, but he's been shoveling a lot of snow. And as always, this is meant to be shared. We always know that doctors mean educators, so we always want to make sure we're educating about health and wellness topics that you have asked us about. So let us know where you're joining us from, and Dr. Ralph will continue, and I can't see your question. So again, continue on, Dr. Ralph.
Okay, I am Dr. Ralph Cardin, coming from you live, Cardin Center for Wellness in Kansas.
Thank you.
So Western diet. So we all kind of understand the basic premise of the Western diet, and that is eating highly processed foods. So here's another component that what I was sharing with Dr. Heather is that it's also the continued feeding that takes place. So you can be actually eating really great healthy food. Maybe it's not that processed food, but you're eating every 2 hours, or you're drinking or consuming a calorie every 30 minutes, whether it be a sip of coffee that's sweetened with something, or whether it be, the traditional potato chip. That is what we're calling the Western diet. So what happens with the Western diet, and you're constantly in a feed state, you're going to produce what are called reactive oxygen species. So that's this little guy right here on our handy little chart. So this is very basic. So we're not trying to give you to be a PhD level Western diet. We're not trying to get you the knowledge of a doctorate program. But reactive oxygen species is kind of the basis of all diseases, what we call diseases of civilization, obesity, diabetes, those types of things. Reactive oxygen species will always lead to eventually either a high insulin response or an insulin resistant response. And this is dependent upon a little bit of diet, exercise, and sometimes about 5% or less of the time from your gene pool as well. And then from there, those two conditions, high insulin and insulin resistance, lead to one of 3 basic categories that you're going to have stress in, what we call sympathetic nervous system stress. So think fight or flight, think that stress response. And
so fight or flight right now, it is shopping, getting stuff done. Maybe it's financial stress right now. Maybe
doing a live with your spouse.
Or maybe you just got fired from your job right now. Or maybe you're trying to close on a new home right now. Maybe you have sick children, sick family members. It's all that stuff that's going on right now. The toxins in our environment, the light in our environment, the stuff from your phone.
And we all have that stuff on a daily basis. So it's not just the normal daily stressors that we go through. It's those major life events that really start to tip that system off. That's part of it. The other part of it too, it's kind of a sidebar. We all have stress, but if you're not doing anything to combat that stress, if you're not doing some simple prayer time or simple quiet time, if you're not getting out in nature and walking, we've adopted a dog about 4 months ago, and I've got the privilege of being out and walking with the dog a couple times a day. It forces me to get outside. It forces me to put my phone down. It forces me to get away from the computer, the TV, the lights, all those types of things.
She's so cute. Her name is Dani. It means Denarius, mother of dragons.
So when we have sympathetic stress response, or those fight or flight responses, it's really important to find things in your life in which you can balance those things out. Renin-angiotensin system, so that's kind of a water balancing system, kidney functioning system, heart functioning system. We won't get too involved in that.
Blood pressure stuff.
high insulin and insulin resistance always lead to problems in that area. And like Dr. Heather mentioned, think blood pressure. That's a simple way to think of that. And then the other kind of common category is the inflammation category. We talk so much about inflammation as an end-all being, but it's really just part of the whole complex of all types of different diseases.
It looks like, Dr. Ralph, all the arrows are kind of leading there, right? Looks
they are all leading there.
The Western diet's leading there, the oxidative stress is leading there, the insulin resistance is leading there, the high insulin is leading there, reactive oxidation is leading there, the RAS is leading there. Inflammation is leading to BAM.
So one quick thing before we go bam, if we come back up here, I don't want to be remiss in mentioning that this is what we would call fetal origin of adult diseases. So that's kind of a fancy way of saying it's a little bit of the gene pool. So in our office for years, what we've discussed with patients is we've said, listen, your gene pool loads the gun, but it's your lifestyle that pulls the trigger. So back to the chart, the Western diet can pull that trigger for you, and then you can get some sort of a genetic expression of something that's in your gene pool. Now, BAM, the great big huge arrow, is what leads to what we call diseases of civilization. Again, obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all of those lifestyle changes.
So any itis, right? Any itis from head to toe. We can name a lot of those.
We can make a broad sweep. Yes, most inflammatory processes, i.e. inflammation that's on the chart, it all leads to that. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to turn it around. Thank you for joining us here. I know we both got, he's got a patient here in just a few minutes, so thanks for taking that time here today.
Bye.
But I'm going to close it out. So, yeah, drop your questions down below. If you're watching us on replay, let us know. Again, if you're watching live from here in Kansas, or if you have snow, put a snowflake down. But when we talk about functional medicine doctors or wellness practitioners, that's what they do. They actually look for the imbalance in the body, whatever the itis may be from head to toe. They look to remove that stress. It could be one of those things, little boxes, wherever the arrow may be leading. And then in their toolbox, whether that be studying the adrenal glands, or whether it be heavy metal testing, whether it be hormone testing, whether it be subluxations, whether it be acupuncture meridians out of balance, nutritional deficiencies, or again, allergies, sensitivities, they look to remove those interferences and rebalance the body so the body can remain healing itself, because the body ultimately wants to heal itself. You break a bone, it wants to repair itself. You actually cut yourself, it bleeds, your body repairs itself. It puts scabs and things like that down. Or if you actually lose a kidney, you can actually get a kidney from somebody else. True story, my father-in-law actually had a kidney transplant from my brother-in-law. The body wants to heal itself. So with that being said, we want to say have an amazing day. Be safe as always. If you did not see our safe shoveling tutorial, it's over on Cardin Center for Wellness on our page. If there's something you want to know about, please drop your questions down below, because we do want to lead with education first here and help you better understand how you can optimize your health each and every day. And also, if you want to know more about our 10-day challenge that we are doing, drop beta down below, because this is a 10-day beta testing challenge down below. We also are doing a 7-day to better challenge that will be beginning on January 6th. I know many of you have already emailed me. Email me, send me a message. I'll put my email up above. We'll email you that information. It'll be a 7-day weekly guide that will be coming to you live in a private Facebook group to help you better understand how you can optimize your health. But today really was about just understanding what's happening in civilization. Why are children underneath the age of 9 getting type 2 diabetes? Why are children for the first time ever in this century not supposed to outlive us? It's a very sad truth. We've been talking about this. We, as in functional wellness physicians, have been talking about this for the last 5 to 6 years, that for the first time in history, our children are not supposed to outlive us. We've got to change how they're eating. We've got to get children sleeping. We've got to stop the phone. We've got to stop some of the computers, some of the gaming things like that, get them back to reading real books, other things like that. But again, you guys are very welcome. Thank you for joining us. We sincerely appreciate you, and have an amazing day.